As with every board meeting, members of the public can submit public comments during or after this meeting in writing via our website, nj.gov/cannabis/meetings. The deadline for submitting written comments for today's board meeting is 5:00 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, August 8th. Written comments will be shared with the commission members and they will be made public.
Both. I
Speakers
highly
will be
recommend.
called
The
on
public
in the
should
order in
be
which they
signing up for.
signed up to speak. You'll be limited to 3 minutes.
So
We'll start with
we'll
the
see if they
persons who
actually
are
get people to speak
registered and
this
are
time.
in person, and then we'll move
Let's
to
hope.
anyone who is joining us by telephone. For those who are joining us in person, when you hear your name called, please come to the forward. The microphone, I believe, is already on. Is that correct? Okay. We're going to confirm. We're going to turn on the microphone for you. Your 3 minutes will be noted to your left. And then we'll turn over to those who are joining us by phone, and Mr. Saeed will give instructions for those who are joining us by
I
phone
was thinking,
on
oh
how
wait,
to
we'll
raise their
talk later
hand
about that.
and unmute themselves. And so with that, Mr. Saeed, can you please call
Let's
on our
see
first
who's
speakers?
first.
Chairwoman, as a reminder, public speakers during this afternoon's public comment period will be limited to 3 minutes. Please be respectful and concise during your comments. The first person I have on the list is Keith Wood.
Nice.
The next person on the list is Dr. Eliza Brevard Rodriguez. The next person on the list is Thomas Norcia.
Oh wait, that sounds
The
familiar.
next person is Reginald Green.
We're hearing some familiar names. Reginald Green, no?
The next person
No?
is
Damn.
Smrita Chubi.
There's no
That's another
way
name, Smrita.
every
The
single
next person is
meeting.
Victoria Vasquez.
Another name.
The next person is Samuel Reichbart.
Another name. A lot of familiar faces. Names. Do we got one? Looks like we do.
We got one?
I think so.
Finally.
Hello. My name is Samuel Reichbart.
There we go.
I actually came here today to testify on a number of things, but you guys... Oh, good. But you guys actually seem to have done a lot that we needed you guys to do today. Most notably, I came here to testify about a trans employee at the store that I work at who was sent a letter stating that she couldn't work anymore. That was actually resolved this morning, so thank you guys very much for that. Really appreciate it.
How'd you have
It was really hard to have to tell her that she wasn't able to work. So,
I don't want to believe
but I actually
the
do
CRC
hope you
sent
continue
them
to, like, I know
letter
you took away the
saying
provisional
you can't
badging
work
today. I hope we
'cause
do
you're
continue to
trans.
look at
I
that
don't know,
process,
like,
just because
that'd be
I hope
hella
Yeah,
worry
infuriating.
I
that
was about to
possibly people
say,
have been discouraged
I just didn't know if
because of the
it was
almost year-long waits when they
Some
fine,
other
but it's like
people.
it's
that
weird that he brought up that they trans.
rehabilitation process
Why
or
is it
like
not
group
just
rehabilitation.
it's hard to tell
One,
my
I know
employee
it's
that
one
they
of two
can
things, CJ.
currently stuck in
Either
that process, so
maybe
I
he
just
thinks that they did it
I
because of that,
would
or
want to make sure
two,
that we're still
he
doing right
wants to
by
morally,
workers,
keep
and
them
that we're
in check.
keeping to all the commitments that we've made to people to have this be
And
an inclusive industry.
I hope
and
he's not the
work
second
for
time.
all of them.
It's not something to
It
make
was
up.
also very exciting to hear that we are starting to investigate some of the lab issues that we're seeing. I think a lot of people have been shouting from the rooftops about that for a long time. So it's great to hear that we're starting to recognize and work on some of those issues. Yeah, I guess I encourage you guys to just keep up the hard work. Thank you so much for taking some steps and showing us that, you're working for us and working with us.
Next person on the list is Jeffrey Miller. The next person on the list is LaRon Jones.
I swear that's a fake name. I feel like I've heard that name a few times and he's never spoken.
And here he is, Mr. Jones
Oh, is he?
himself.
Thank you,
Let's go.
THC and the commission for giving me a chance to speak in front of you once more. As you can
Oh,
see,
you
I
had
bought
spoken
the
before.
oh Jesus, look what you did. But again, again, from the bottom of my heart, my family's heart, thank you. To be here, give my little guy an opportunity, pass a legacy down. Um, to provide for his future siblings and him. So I thank you. And, I definitely just want to really thank you for being patient with us, letting us cure what we need to cure, and achieving what this is all about, taking care of my family. So thank you. Before I end it, I definitely want to say some final words. Uh, Lord, put your hand, put your hands on our application. Be with us, bless us, protect us. I thank the CRC for all that they do for my family
Oh,
and
man.
giving us an opportunity that they gave us. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Dare I
Too
say,
early to
Saeed?
get the kids engaged in civic activity. So always welcome to bring the little one.
Saeed never started
The
the
next
timer for
person
this
on the
one.
list is Andrea Rabel.
Hello,
All right,
my name
Andrea.
is. I know it's gonna beep at me in like 5 seconds, so I'm just gonna. Hello, I'm still Andrea Rabel, and I'm excited to be here today and to see some of the changes that might be happening in the CRC. Was very excited about to hear Commissioner Mapp discuss some of the potential public education opportunities that are going to be coming forward. And you're right, it is never too early to get the kids involved. So I hope when we're talking about public education, deterrence isn't the only thing we're talking about when we address minors, because minors are welcome as part of our medical program. And a lot of time those patients and their parents are really struggling for resources or community or connection to their doctors. So please bear in mind medical minors when you are going forward with these public education programs. I would also like to thank Executive Director Riggs for coming forward and talking about the THC numbers and the microbial test results that we're seeing in New Jersey. Across the country, those are some of the most questionable trends we're seeing. And as multiple labs start to push back on lab shopping or just unreasonable market variance or labeling inaccuracies, it's important that we're starting to look at the data here and really consider what that means, and consider what that means when you're making decisions on waivers like extending expiration dates. And I am excited you have a new waiver portal online too, and I'm really excited to see that you guys aren't just blind stamping anything, that safety is being brought into the discussions when you are making these decisions and when you're making these enforcement decisions. I would like to see further investigation into the labs and into some of the practices. I know a lot of the enforcements today were for retailers and cultivators. Perhaps, if we're looking into the lab licenses too, we might see some of the answers for some of these trends. And I appreciate that some of the enforcement today scaled with the size of the offenses, because allowing certain problems to go unchecked for a long period of time doesn't mean that they don't escalate. I appreciate your willingness to work with license holders ahead of time. We don't want to be overly punitive in this industry. We want to see it grow. Everyone makes mistakes. There's a learning curve. It takes time to dial in cultivation rooms or validate methods, but understanding that there has to be an end to that grace period where we can really see true accountability to be able to trust in the industry. I just appreciate that you're trying to take steps forward on that. And I look forward to helping any way I can as a patient and encouraging others to come speak up. Hopefully we'll hear more in the future, and hopefully you'll have more opportunities for specific discussions like town halls on science or the medical program again. Thank you. Have a great day.
The next person on the list is Ian Thompson.
All right.
I'm listening.
Hello, CRC. My name is Ian Thompson. I am a supervisor with Mr. Jones Dispensary. I've come here today to speak on behalf of my employer and the business that he is trying to start. With a proven track record in running successful businesses, he's an individual that will actually know how to get the job done when it comes to getting the store ready and opening. In terms of what we can bring to the town of Little Falls, just from the revenue generated from that 2% sales tax, it can go to funding multiple things throughout the town, like recreational facilities, youth programs that you had already mentioned, clean community programs. So a lot of that money that the store will generate just from being a proposed multi-million-dollar store can go to great benefit for the town and the area around it. Not only that, it will generate a bunch of jobs for a lot of people who are looking to get into the industry as well, and opportunities to grow, like myself, who want to eventually become things like inventory managers, buyers, positions like that. With the backing from Ascend, with times right now where a bunch of smaller stores or larger companies are closing their doors, having the backing from a proven company like Ascend will help keep those stores open, and we'll be able to keep providing quality cannabis to the people around us. Thank you for your time.
Now moving on to the people deciding to call in. Molly Hartman Lustig, if you're
We
in
got
the
one
room.
more
All right, I see you, Molly.
people
Give me
this
1
time.
second. Molly, you have the room.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, commissioners, staff, and members of the public. My name is Molly Hartman Lustig, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you today. I
You
am
mean
here to
yell at
respectfully
me?
request that the commission revisit and improve several critical areas in the adult use application process, particularly around disclosure forms, contract approval, and fingerprinting. And then finally, if I have time, a separate issue, distressed licensees. So number one is I would really urge the commission to consider creating distinct disclosure packages for different types of disclosures involved in the application process, including a package for ownership or interest holders, financial sources, management services, contractors, and vendors. Each of these packages would contain role-specific guidance, document checklists, and example forms, similar in tone and format to the notice of application acceptance, which you guys have already put together. And that's been an extremely helpful resource, but we haven't seen that broken down for these different I guess categories. Let's put it. This change would allow applicants to give clear and official instructions to their investors and contractors, reducing some of the errors and delays, caused by confusion over who must disclose when and what's required, which the commission spent time talking about today, and I think there's work to be done on both sides. As one simple example, page 3 of the current entity disclosure form still says insert name of New Jersey ATC. And so this outdated reference can be really easily replaced with AU applicant or AU licensee. Immediately after that, the question, what is the nature of the entity requesting suitability? There's a limited list here, and so there could be a drop-down menu or checkbox for licenses classes 1 through 6. So small fixes like this can have a big impact on compliance and efficiency. And I bet it would also make the staff's job easier too. So the second thing is to reinforce this requirement for unsigned agreements, but acknowledge business realities. So I know that the CRC today and in prior meetings has indicated that all licensees must submit agreements in an unsigned form for the CRC to review before any money changes hands. And this requirement, of course, is essential for oversight and fairness. However, with that being said, I am respectfully requesting that the commission reflect on the business realities that applicants are facing and the legislative intent behind the rules. Access to capital is one of the biggest barriers in the industry, and we are seeing small and large companies failing every single day in our state. Delays of even a few weeks in executing a note, a lease, or a contract can sink a startup,
You know,
particularly
I was going to
minority
comment
equity
on how
applicants.
everyone
So
was
from-
super
Okay, so
positive
from
and
a
how that
legislative
was
perspective,
also kind of out
restrictions
of
on use
order.
serious
Here we
interests
go.
and
This
shelf
is
space
what I'm
limits, of
used
course,
to.
are put in place to protect the little guys. But what I'm asking for is some consideration for earlier submission, faster review agreements, especially simple promissory notes where there's no ownership or equity considerations at play. Consider some provisional approvals for standard form agreements if applicants choose to use them. And also recognize the urgent pace of real world business. With my time limited, let people get fingerprinted as soon as humanly possible. Please don't wait until an application is deemed, quote, first review, because by that time we are talking months and months of delay, especially leading into the school months where lots of volunteers have to get fingerprinted to help our kids out and get on buses and teams and all that jazz. And I'll save my last comment for the next meeting. Thank you so much. And thank you again for your thoughtful leadership.
I'm going to go through the list one more time for the people that didn't get
Oh,
a
wow,
chance
that was
to
everyone?
speak on the list. Keith Wood,
Keith,
Dr. Eliza Brevard Rodriguez, Thomas Norcia, Reginald Green,
is Thomas Norcia the hemp guy?
Smrita Chobi,
Maybe.
Victoria Vasquez, Jeffrey Miller.
Lots of familiar names.
That's
And it's so sad these guys aren't here. I would have loved to hear them.
Chairwoman. This will conclude the registered speakers we have for today's public meeting.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody who shared their suggestions, their experiences, and their concerns with the commission today. This concludes the business that we have before us today. And so with that, I move that we adjourn. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Commissioner Mapp. Is there any discussion on this motion to adjourn? Hearing none. All those in favor of adjourning say aye. Aye. All those opposed say
Aye.
nay.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Motion passes. So the time is now 3:20 and we are adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming out today, and we will see you at the next meeting. Thank you.
All right.
Very interesting that only one negative person came up, and I think, what, 30 positive people came up? Normally there's a lot more, hey,
They get torn down.
things are happening to us right now.
Part of it's like they even here they addressed a little bit, some of the things they were saying in the last meeting, and they addressed it this time ahead of it. They went ahead and said, like, hey, listen, like, we understand it's time consuming and expensive, but here's some things you can do. I kind of look at it as they're just covering their asses a little bit, trying to save face by not even just save face, but just kind of look like it's not their problem. But we all know that the real estate's the main thing, and if they can get help with that, that's the real thing that they need help with, get solved. Access to actual locations that are willing to take the risk with some businesses. But either way, I like this new format. I think we should definitely keep this format now.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll catch everyone again. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you thought of this video, what you thought of the public comments. And yeah, we'll see you in the next CRC meeting. See you.
Bye-bye.